Hey guys, today we're going to look at making mistakes with watercolor. It's going to be a little different because I'm actually making this mistake on purpose. Normally when we make mistakes, it is an accident. So it's going to look a little different, but I chose to use the same paper as our watercolor mixing video, just so you can kind of get an idea. I'm going to do a blue wash. Remember, wash means you're covering the whole area. Over it with my light blues in the corner, and then I'm going to wake up one of these blue greens here. Okay, that's going to be my mistake. Say I'm painting and I accidentally drip. I didn't want that there. Now, as always, we have our two options. We can work with it. Maybe you add more dots in that space, or you're going to stop what you're doing. You're going to clean your brush out. Swirl and swipe. You can get some fresh water. Pinch the water out. I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to roll over that watercolor. See how that thinned that color already? Do that just a couple times. This time I'll thin it out a little bit more. Okay, so I know that didn't cover it up all the way, but that gives me the opportunity to take a little bit of that original blue, clean my brush, get a little bit of that white again, and go over it, and that dark blue spot is no longer there. Okay, that's actually a trick that works the same. So maybe I'm painting and not paying attention. Oh, I just got blue in the white. Okay, same thing. Clean my brush. Get fresh water. Really helps to have those two water bowls. And then I'm just going to roll my brush over the white. That picked up a lot of it. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 times. Sometimes it does it once or twice. It just depends what the error is. But that cleaned up my paint. Now, maybe my mistake is I forgot to do the wet on wet. So I forgot to do the water before I started painting, and my color is turning out way darker than I planned. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to just get water on my brush, and you can kind of reverse the wet on wet technique, and you're going to go over top here, and start spreading it out. Grab a little bit of that color. Oop. Sorry, add water to your paper, grab a little bit of that color, and then go from the mistake and spread it out, and that will help blend the mistake. And see how that lightened it up, but it also gave me more space to work. Watercolor can be frustrating because when the water spreads, it does things that you don't intend for it to do, but it also fixes a lot easier when you use that clear, fresh water to fix it. So those are just a couple of the mistakes that I notice as you paint with watercolor that really help. Another one, see how that spreads? It's because the amount of water on there, so it might go where you don't want it to. I'm trying to get it to blend in here with that light blue. Another tool that you can use is a paper towel. So maybe I'm going to do my watercolor wash, get a little bit of color. It spreads too far, so similar to that paintbrush technique where you rolled the paintbrush, you just take your paper towel and you pick up some of the extra water. It also creates a nice little texture, but then you just go back over it. So paper towels can be really helpful with watercolor. Sometimes it's kind of cool to leave it there, just have that blending technique. Not what I'm going for today, but you can play around with that. That's what exploring with watercolors is all about, just seeing what it can do. Now, the last mistake I can see is when you're wanting to blend and the colors just aren't quite blending. I think a lot of it's because I went from such a light color to that blue-green. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some clear water, I'm going to just add it straight to the paper, and if you see that it blends just a little bit better. I'm also going to grab just a little bit of that original blue that I used, a little bit of that white, and that will help blend that. You get a softer line in there than you can see over here. So that's just some ways of working with it. Watercolor really builds on top of each other really well. Hope you enjoyed it.